Hello and welcome, I'm bballjo, and this is Railroader, a brand new game that's not quite out yet. They're hoping for December 15th, but this is a game where you run your own railroad company. You start from pretty much nothing. You have a broken engine, a regular engine, I'll show you that in a second, and you build your way up from there and learn the mechanics, learn the way of the game, learn everything around it. And the only thing that you're really constrained by is the rail, which is awesome because everything else feels pretty free. And I just want to jump right in. What do we have? A new game. This is early access. This is pre-early access. This is an alpha access, actually, but everything works really, really well. So I'm quite surprised. Not gonna lie. What do we have here? I don't know. Bunch of things. TFR. Tallulah Falls Railway. Yeah, I like that one. If we start an actual campaign, we're gonna make this a little different, but it's gonna jump you right in. I understand that the current resolution is not going to allow you to read anything, so we're just going to click that away, but don't worry, we're going to have to do the tutorial anyways. The game itself, let's go to a different view that we can actually see a couple more things. The game itself, it is, well, early access, so the vegetation, all that stuff that is around us is not quite there yet, but what is there is the important stuff, which is trains, wagons, and a map. And the map is humongous. I think it's 50 miles or something like that. So that's that. And we have the reverser here. We have the throttle right here, and that's going to work pretty well. If you choose so, you can also set this to simplistic. We just go forward or backwards, and you can just stop. And that's really it. I do like the actual realistic way. The other thing you can do is we can jump in here. Control 0 lets you sit right in the cab, and then you see all these. You can run all of these. Independent brake? Sure. Train brake? Sure. Why not? Throttle? Yeah, we run this. And if you played, and this one's a little hard to see for some reason, but it's the reverser. You can go reverser forward or backwards, so whatever you want to run. And they have a bunch of other things in here as well, so don't get confused by that. But you can pretty much turn all the things. It's not completely done yet. It's early access, and I don't think this looks super pretty yet. But that's not why we play this. This is a railroad game that if you ever wanted to own your own railroad, model train railroad, let's go with that. This is the thing that you want. It is super cool. Let's set this to follow and let's listen to this guy. It's pretty sweet. You can change the horn. You can make it run around. There's a lot of really, really good stuff going on here. And what we're doing right now is, as I said, we're kind of doing the tutorial, but we're going to skip reading everything. We're going to get some water because this is steam loco and we need some water and we have to refill. Let's just go right here. There's the water tower. Am I close enough? We will see. I have to open this hatch. And then the water tower is going to say, you know what, buddy? Not quite. Do a little more. Just a couple more inches. I haven't felt that this game was very frustrating to get the right alignment or anything like that. I just have to be a little better doing the right thing. Now we're right under it. It's going to come right down and we're going to get water. This tender allows for about 4,000 gallons of water, so we're pretty much there, and then it's going to turn off by itself. You can turn it back if you want to, and the next thing we're going to get is a little bit of coal. Everything works really the same way. You just go close enough to the coal side to get something done. Then you make sure you don't overshoot it. And when you're close enough, just a little bit more, probably. Just a tiny bit more. Come on, train. There you go. You can do it. I believe in you. Yeah, that's good enough. Then you can just tell it, hey, I would like some coal, please. Then the coal just runs from the conveyor over here, and it's coming out of this wagon, and it's empty now because we're only going to get a little bit of coal in, but it's pretty cool because we're going to replenish this coal hopper in just a little bit. Not right now, but we're going to get there. Let me show you a feature of this game, which I think is super cool and will be very helpful, because you remember this big map of all the things that are going on? Yeah, you also have to unlock things. You have AIs. AIs can do something. If you played Farm Sim, worker, but real worker, not just a crappy worker that we're used to from there. Over here under orders, you can say manual, road, and yard. Manual just means I'm running it right now. Yard means in the yard, do these actions, or on the road, which I'm going to do right now, go forward and go to about 35. You know what it's going to do? It's going to go up to 35 miles an hour But on here, and if you want them to stop in a very specific place, which I do, somewhere around right here, I'm going to press Control F and place a little flare. Looks like this. That is effectively a waypoint that will tell them, hey, you're done now, slow down. And that's what the train is going to do. Down here, you can see the speed. We're going from 10, 8, 7, 6, etc., etc. And all I wanted it to do is clear this switch. And once we have done that, I can throw the switch, make it reverse, because that is our train. That is part of the tutorial, but we have to repair that train, and that will give us a second train for our railroad, which will be awesome. I just want to go back there. So we did that. The flare is still here. That's great. I will tell it now to do a yard work, go reverse, and go back 20 car lengths. That should be close, and it's just getting its orders. It's going 15 miles per hour backwards. It's not going to make it all the way to the TFR2, but it's going to get pretty close, and at some point it will actually tell us that. Okay, let's go back to our worker, just for the time being. Yes, we can totally just jump out of this and look like a ghost and fly around, but again, this is early access. I think stuff will just change, and one thing is for real, the speed that you actually move in first person feels a lot faster than what it looks like in any other way. And that's just the aspect ratio, what we have here. Now, there are ways to change that. They just added that today. Under graphics, you can do your field of view. We can switch this around, but honestly, I haven't seen a big difference of that when I run around. It feels like a fishbowl. I don't love it. What is it? Shift R will re-rail this. We're just going to hit that 2 on this and then 2 on the tender. Perfect. We have our locomotive just standing right in front of you. There it is. Already got connected here. It's trying to go backwards now, which we will tell it, hey, stop it. We're good. There we go. It's just moving a little more, and I forgot that got really close. Apparently, the derailed vehicles don't really count as vehicles as much as the other ones. But now we're connected to this guy, which is all we wanted. Let's tell it to go forward. Actually go forward on the road. It's probably going to be a little faster than the other one. We're just going to stand there. You can now choose, if you really want to, and we're going to go here, you can connect the cogs and everything else manually if you choose to do that. We will do that on real trains because we actually need the train brake to work. But in this case, whoa, sorry, too many camera angles that I'm trying to use all at the same time. We will use that as a thing for longer trains because we do want the independent train brake to work. But for right now, this is totally fine. I switched to manual just because we're a little bit longer now than we were earlier, so this flare is not going to be in the right place. But yeah, we're just going to back up and get our engine into that train shed over there. And then we're going to see another feature of this game, which I think is pretty cool. Let's turn all of this around. As our engine is heading here with the AI worker and doing exactly what it's supposed to do, I hope. I think, yeah, that looks good going in that engine shed. I can show you another feature. If we press I on the keyboard, we have, this is our company overview if you want. We can go to location, and we have a bunch of different locations here, and they correspond to locations on the map that we already have. And one of them is the engine service, which is right here. We can just say, hey, hire a person. They will start tomorrow. They will always start at midnight, and then they will start working. Because if we look at this locomotive, left control, this one says condition 70%. I know it's hard to read. 70%, but that is the thing that we want to get fixed. So we're just going to push this guy into the shed, talk to our locomotive. With that honk, it actually tells me, or that whistle? Yeah, whistle. The whistle actually tells me, hey, I'm ready. What are you doing? And I can tell it, hey, thank you for bringing it out here. We're going to go back to manual for now and figure out a couple more things. Let's jump over here and make sure that we can decouple this train. And I will just show you the cogs over here. There's actually a lot of detail. We can click on this. Now they're connected. Cool. Here are the angle cogs. We want to connect them like this and actually open them to get our our train brake to work. That's very important. And then to decouple them, as you can hear, there's a lot of air chuffing right now. You can turn that off. I think that's pretty cool. Another way to connect this is just to hit left shift and connect them and deconnect them. Then just everything is going to turn on and off. If you just want to have a couple less clicks, you have options. That's pretty cool. Then you can click on this to decouple it, and you can do all the same things from this view. You just go close enough. There are just a couple things you can't do from here. I think re-rail is one of them. But all you do is connect them or not connecting, depending what you want to do. But yeah, it's actually pretty cool. Cool. So there's our train. What is the next thing that we're going to do? We are going to get our coal replenished. Hopefully, that's at least the plan. And to do that, we need to get to the rail car. And for that, I just really like the AI workers, okay? I will tell it, go ahead 12, and there's a clearance. So 10 or 12 is not going to be enough. If I tell you to go forward 20, that may be a little better. You should be chuffing already that way. That's great. Now all I wanted to do is to get to TFR 2027, which now popped up down here in the status, which just means it will connect to that, and the AIs are smart enough to not run over the end of the track, which is very, very helpful because bballjo over here definitely will run over the tracks because he always underestimates how fast or how slow we have to go for whatever reason. So this is very helpful. There you go. Popped right in there, and end of track. It's going to stop. It's not going to do anything, which is perfect. How about your reverse now for 10 car lengths? That should get you past this switch. We're going to switch this one over to the other side of the engine shed simply because we already parked there, and we need to be able to turn this thing around. I just love this. Like, you have the options to do whatever you want to do, go manual or go not manual, which means at some point you can run a full rail network that doesn't really need your interference. And there's a thing called CTC, which please go to the Railroader YouTube channel, because that gives you a really excellent explanation of what that actually means. It is just this huge control podium that is completely analog that they built, that they have available in this game. I think I have to unlock it. And let's speak about unlocking things. Milestones are the thing that you unlock things with. You can build a bridge, you can get a diesel station, you can get a bunch of other things, and then there's all this stuff. This is super early access. This is a very specific build that is being supported here for creators or for YouTube people. So this is not the final version that you're going to see, but it's probably going to be very close to the tutorial that you're going to start with. And it's just, you can do whatever you want to do. And I think it's amazing. Honestly, like this is just good stuff. All right, let's get our stuff out. This is called the interchange. There are specific ones all around the place. When you take jobs, interchanges are very, very important. I'm going to place a quick flare over here. Where are they? Are because I want the train just to back up. Let's see, yard or road work, reverse, go relatively fast, and go into that switch and this switch, please. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, interchanges. When you take jobs, and where do you take jobs? You could take jobs under locations. Where are they? Down here. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier whatever. And I think we're going to take a couple, but they only show up in the morning at 6 a.m., which I think is pretty fine because you can actually sleep. That's also under settings. Time, you can wait, or you can sleep until whenever you want, and take a job. And we're actually going to do that in just a second once we're situated here, because we're going to get our rail car over here. And then we're going to sleep a little bit and get the first couple of jobs, because I know exactly where we're going to take them, and we can actually do a little bit of shunting. So you're totally free to do your own thing. You don't have to follow the tutorial to do anything, really. You can just go ahead and go crazy. We're going to decouple this, run this one back as far as we can. Where are we? Reversed. Yes, that's good. All the way out here, we're just going to have to go for a little while longer. And this flare is stopping it right now, but that's not a problem. We can just turn that off, just like so. I do like that the whistle is just signaling, hey, I'm good now, let me go. And that will be fine. So let's build another flare all the way out here. The game is rendering everything on demand. Obviously, there's a lot of area, and it doesn't look like there's too much detail here, but there's a lot of area to cover. So if you don't believe me, let's do this while that thing is running. There's a lot of track. I tried to run it down, up and down a little bit before, and there's just a lot going on. And some of the track is just single track like this. Some of the track has some switching going on, and there are signals on there, etc., etc. Here's a like just different industries, different things. That's a passenger station right there. There's just a lot of stuff going on, which I think is pretty cool. So the game does a really good job at actually figuring out how to run everything, and it's doing so very effectively in my mind. Let's go a little bit further back. Apparently our flare that I placed there is a little bit too scary for it, but that should be just fine. Let's take that one out. And you just place these flares strategically wherever you feel like it. Can you go a little further back? No, let's just go manual then. No brake, go reverse. There you go. Another thing that the game models pretty well, and I'm not a railroad expert, I'm not a railroad anything really. I like to play railroad games, but that's about it. The reverser. If you would think about it, when does a car goes fast? When you hit the throttle and just go, right? Like pedal to the metal. There's a reason why that phrase exists. For trains, it's not the same, and I'll show you what I mean. We're going to set this and just go throttle 100%, okay? What do you think is going to happen? That was the wrong one. This is the one that I wanted. We're just going to see what happens. This number is 12, 13, 13.5, 13.8, 14. It's slowing down. It's slowing down hard. 14.6, 14.7, 14.8. It grows really, really slow, and it's not maxed out yet, but it's getting closer. If I move my reverser now to less than 100%, it actually speeds up higher. So the gear ratio, a bunch of things are happening there. I don't know exactly what's happening, but a bunch of stuff is happening that actually allows you to go faster now, which I know is a thing in locomotives like this. It's modeled. They're actually doing this, which is really, really, really awesome. I forgot one thing over here, and then we can take on a couple jobs and take a quick nap, but I'll show you all of that in just a second. First, I would like to stop right here. That should be good. Let's talk to this wagon. Right now, it has nothing on there. It's not doing anything. And if I hit tab, it doesn't have a job. That's fine. If I go left control and click on it, then click on operations, I can actually say loads to not set. I want it to set to East Whittier Coal Loader. Where is that? That is the thing where we got it from. It's right here. East Whittier Coal Loader. Which we can show you later in other sets too. Empties to, well, same thing. Now it's set to do something, and it's gonna get filled. So this is the interchange track, and this place is actually gonna get filled overnight. So at 6 a.m., this one will have full coal in it, and we can actually move it around and do fun things with it. The other thing that we want to do is take on a couple quick jobs. So let's go to our locations and figure out what we're going to do. There's no job here. That's fine. We just have this one person that we hired for tomorrow. We can hire more if we want to. It will just cost us a little more. We don't have infinite money. This is the Whittier change, or Whittier interchange. There's currently nothing on there, but that should be fine. It costs us 150 per 50 tons of coal car. That sounds fine. Heating and oil. This one is the next station, and we will show you that. That's the first job that I'm taking. Tier 1, available at higher tiers later on, which means if you complete jobs and contracts at a good rate, with good reputation, you actually get more tiers. Stencil manufacturing, yeah, we're going to do that too. And then Whittier Depot and Whittier Sawmill, none of those things have anything. There is Ela. Ela is the next station, which actually has passengers and, as you can see, farm supplies. So we're going to take that job as well, and take a couple things over there. You always have a certain amount of time to complete those items. Right now, we're just standing here. Nothing is happening, but it will happen in just a second, because now we're going to go to sleep and wake up, or interchange is served at 6. You can actually set that here. That's cool. I didn't realize that. But if we wait 1 extra hour, and it's dark right now, as you can see, the wagons just have spawned in, and that's what we're supposed to move now. So first we have our TFR 20 whatever over here. That one is going to go, or needs to go, to our coal hopper. And honestly, this is a little dark. I'm going to do a couple more hours so we have a little bit more daylight. That's our hopper. That needs to go into, into the coal unloading station. And we're going to get there. That'll be fine. These are all our wagons, where we have the Ela farm ones right here. and the ACL ones, which are the ones that are coming up really close. And this is something you're just going to learn. It's okay. We're going to see where they need to go in just a second. Let's get our train, which is this guy. Sorry, locomotive. I like to say that wrong. And tell you to go hook up to this consist that we already have. How about you go reversed, brakes off, and then you can just go hit one of these wagons. And once we have those coupled, I'm going to get the passenger car too, because that's the next thing. Something that I very much appreciate, some games don't lock in the interactions with the UI right away, but this one is actually doing exactly what you tell it to do just by sliding it. I think that is really, really cool. I went a little bit too far away there, but now we're good. This one is connected. This one will be a long train or a relatively heavy train for us, so we're actually going to go connect all of this. And then you do want to make sure that your wagons don't have any handbrakes applied, which I think all of these, oh, no, this one is applied. So handbrake, turn it off. That will make things a little harder. Apply. That looks good. I thought that was a symbol. Apparently the first two were the ones that had handbrakes applied. I thought that was a symbol that you can see. Maybe it's on here. Let's see if I applied. Yes, there's a tiny little wheel next to the name. It was really hard to see, but that will tell you that there's a handbrake applied now. The symbol is not there. Cool. Let's move forward a little bit and get our passenger train attached to it. And then we can start moving all these things around, which will be super because I really like it. The shunting, the shifting, the switching, like all that stuff is something that I'm always looking for in a lot of different games for a lot of different reasons. But it's always hard to find just the right tickle of complicated enough, complex enough, fun enough, repeatable enough, challenging enough, like all those things, because they're all kind of puzzle games at some point. You just have to make sure they bring everything from A to B and do all the right things. But that is not always enough. I would like a little more. And this game feels like it has that ability to just do a little more. There we go. Yeah, apply all that. We're going to throw that one, and they're going to go in there. We're going to throw this one because the coal car can just stay there. And now we're just going to reverse. Pretty simple, right? Apply the brakes here. And again, these are the brake cylinders that you can see for your whole train, for your whole consist. We're just going to attach to this. It doesn't care if you're moving freight or passengers, both pay. Freight pays you a lot more, I'm assuming because of volume. And that's what we're going to do. Let's get a little bit more translation here, a little more throttle because we actually have to get there eventually. And then we're going to attach to our passengers, and then we can move on. And I can't wait for that. Okay. A little more. And we're pretty much at the end of what the tutorial would teach you or would tell you, but we are skipping a couple things. Like one of the things is a full trip out to Ela before we take our first tasks, which I just skipped this time because, hey, this is more fun. Perfect. So let's get that one hooked up. Currently, this wagon is not cocked up, so let's get that one in. So now that's part of the whole train that we can actually stop this thing. And this looks good. Let's tell our operator, that's the wrong one. Let's tell this operator to go on the road, go forward, and go really, really fast. Because we have to get to the next station. A couple things that we should do is make sure that all our switches are set appropriately because they will stop at a switch and not appreciate something. And I think this one is the only one that's currently not changed. The game will tell you that switches that are not switched could cause derailments. I ran over a few times and that didn't seem to cause that many issues. Doesn't mean that there are never issues with that. So keep that in mind when you're playing with this. But this is the first station that we have. This is where we're going to go in. And I would like my train to stop relatively late because we have too close to switch. Got it. Because we have a lot of cargo in front of the passenger train. So somewhere in this area is where the passenger car should stop. And then this is a simple passenger station, which you can go in and say, hey, what's going on here? Left control and mouse click will always open these. I have 45 passengers for the Ela station. Perfect. Do we have any freight? Yeah, I would like to move a freight car that's coming this way. It's actually, let's turn it around. It's actually coming from over there. It's hard to see. Okay. And that wants to be placed somewhere. And then there are just other cars and other things that are going on, and all of that. I think is pretty neat. I'm trying to show you the highlighting. Here you go. If you hover over one of these, they sometimes tell you something is like where it has to go, which is really important, because we're going to bring our oil stuff over there. We're going to bring our stencil manufacturing over here. Then the ELA farms are going all the way out there, which will be great. And then, yeah, we have the passengers here. Our train should be pretty close, and this is what we like. It will just go. It will just try to do what it can. From what I heard, is 35 miles per hour is the effective, workable speed that the game prefers. Yes, go with that. 25 for some switches and 15 for yards in general. The AI will usually adhere to that if it can. And as you can see right now, it's already slowing down for the flare that we placed. But yeah, we just want to get that little wagon in the right place. And we're just actually going to slow down pretty hard here. Because I have no feel for how long it will take this train to slow down, but I think we're getting pretty close. Oh yeah, we're pretty good. Let's fully stop. Look at that landing. Everyone can get on the back of the track and do the thing that needs to do. You're supposed to holler, and then you tell the passenger car, this is very important, down here where we're going. We're going to go to ELA station, and now passengers are boarding. I know you can barely tell, but they are, which is all we care about. While they are boarding, which is not immediate, will take a little while, we're going to go here and do the next thing. Let's disconnect all those. Let's open the coupler and tell our train to move forward. That looks like it's already set up well, and go that way. Why? Because we have to get all of these into the right place. First, we have the stencil, which is a little unfortunate because the stencil is on that side and the oil is on this side, but we're just going to go into this little siding and get everything figured out. It'll be great. Let's talk to our train. Under orders, just go forward for until we get out of this siding. There is this flare. It's going to be scared of that flare, so let's make sure we turn it off. Cool. And it should just make it. The problem is we have a really big siding here. It's going to take us a little while to get there, but there are worse things that could happen. And we are coming up on the first maneuver, which I have no idea if that's going to work or not. So there's our locomotive coming right in, train if you want to call it that, that's fine. And something, let's go to the end of the train actually. It's bumping a little bit, but that's okay. Looks like we're not even connected. That is a little unfortunate actually, but it should be fine. This wagon right now does not let's do this. Hit the brakes, hit that brake, and decouple. Okay, it kind of works. I just hit it way too late, because the thing that I want to figure out is if I hit the handbrake here, and this is the gamey aspect, totally, absolutely, totally that thing. But if you stop at some point, I know that we can at least do this. I don't know if this game will ever have a hump yard or anything like that. I always want a hump yard. That would be really cool. But now I at least know it's totally possible. I should have just done that a long time ago, because then I could have run into the other siding already. But this will be fine. So yeah, wagons can be gamey controlled if you want to play it that way. Oh, did I mention this game is multiplayer? Definitely kick all the people out that are not playing the appropriate realistic setting that is appropriate with you. However, if you're on a bballjo server, we just play to have fun, right? That's important. And this game can definitely give you enough fun for a lot of things. This one is apparently not 0. I wonder. Yeah, I think you just open. Okay. We go to the back, and we are now slowing down. Can I do this? Let's zoom in, because I can hear it. I can hear that we miss. Yep, there we go. Something was weird there, but that's fine. So switching this again. Let's go reverse, break off. You can run this way, and you're just supposed to go here. How do I know it's supposed to go there? The game makes it relatively simple. As long as you have the tabs open, you just hover over this, and now there's something highlighting in yellow over there. Just like, oh yeah, that's the building that I'm going to. Beautiful. You can do this manually, or you can do this with the AI if you want to, but let's do this a little quicker. Oh, this is cool. I can barely move this thing. This is awesome. Look at that. It's like dragging it because our brake line is still full. However, you can actually bleed the brake line. Let's do this. And that's the cylinder that was down here. You can actually make it move that way. That is awesome. I had no idea. Just had to stop this real quick. Let's deliver this, and then we're going to hook on to our actual consist again and go to Ela. So here we are, almost in Ela. I told the AI to stop doing something, and I, of course, screwed it up because that's what the AI normally drives. But yes, let's talk about a couple things. Again, this is very early access, way before early access, actually. So how does it play? I haven't had a crash yet. It loads just fine. I have a little bit of stuttering on the railway, but I don't have lag in-game. Like, everything feels fine, so that's not bad. Level of detail, I think the loco looks great. I think the wagons themselves look great. I think the passenger car could do with a little bit of passengers inside, but that's like such a minor cosmetic thing that's not going to do much in terms of gameplay that I don't know that I care about it. is really what I'm getting at. Here's a station coming up. The train is very much working harder when it should work hard, or it turns the steam off when it's not doing anything. So all of those things feel very, very, very extremely appropriate. Again, I like that this, and you can see the brake cylinders actually going through and distributing the force evenly, which I think is pretty cool. I would like to get close enough at least. But yes, like the simulation of the driving of everything that's like related to that is pretty cool. Can't complain about that. I think I've gone just a little too far because I would actually like to get onto, doesn't matter which one I go on. Okay, that's fine. In that case, we can just keep going just a little bit forward. Do I want to go forward or backwards? I want to go backwards because I want to get on the correct track at the correct time. I wanted to throw the switch. I don't think they will let me. Well, I'm kind of parked on it. Clear! TFR3 first. Clear first. Clear first. Clear first. Clear first. We are cleared now. Good. Stop, forward. And we'll go in there. Yeah, this is fine. And we're still going to go forward that way because I still have to park our passenger car in the right spot right now. It very much isn't. But that's just however you want to play. And I think this is the freedom and all the little things that I think are fun because this is just one locomotive. In next episode, maybe, if this is something you want to see more of, we should have 2 locomotives and should be able to do multiple things at once and not be stuck on just doing one thing all the time, which to me sounds super exciting. So now we're here. Let's talk to our passenger real quick. There are 38 people that want to go to Whittier. Currently, our wagon is not set up to go to Whittier. So how about we tell them Whittier is fine. How about you get on board and we'll go to Whittier by the time we decouple and have everything taken care of, which is going to take us just a little bit of time, but I don't think anyone will really have problems with that, right? Can I? After you decouple it, I don't think you can do anything to those glad hands anymore, which is probably a thing that's okay. Not sure that that's something that anyone has to complain about, but that's fine. Let's get our train in here, and what is our goal? Well, pretty easy. You hover over that thing, and I don't know if you can tell, but these actually turn a little green. They were yellow before. Once they turn green, it's an indicator for we're close. We're very close. Once they turn orange, no, green is something different. But once they turn gray, that means they're in the right spot. They're done. Like once they're colorless, you got them far enough. And all we have to do now is put them here, run around, couple on the back, go pull them in here, then push them into that station, and then we're actually good to go back to Whittier and maybe take out some new contracts. I don't know what exactly we're going to do yet, but this will be super duper fun. Just push you a little further, actually a little further than that, because we're going to be able to, we need to be able to push the whole train in behind them once we actually get the runaround done. So let's try to think ahead just a little bit. There should be good. Hit the brakes. Forward is still fine. Yep, this is all good stuff. How about right here? Can I get the glad hands disconnected the right way this time? Yes. So if I'm not coupled, I actually still have control over that thing. That's good to know. So train, all you have to do now is run around all the way over there, and I can show you that even if the switch is not set correct, the train will not derail. At least it didn't do that last time. We'll see if that is actually the case today. There's a station sign, very nice. What I don't know is some games like to throw the switch if you run over it. We shouldn't go too fast though, 20 is probably fine. When you go over the switch actually flips or gets thrown to the other side, which I'm not sure that I want that, but it's something that could happen. We'll just have to see what happens here. If you have a question about how do we get back to Whittier, we're going to push. It's just one wagon. I'm not terribly worried about it. Okay, that switch actually switches itself. Good to know. Hit the brakes, hit the switch, hit the reverse. Let's get to 0 really fast. There you go. Good job. Run, and there we go. Controls are so simple, but they do everything you need it to do. And I mean, if you need more controls, multiple units is totally supported. There's cutout and MU for multiple units in here. There are some diesels that they let you play with, and I played with the GP9s. These guys are moving. There's a slight grade here, apparently. Let's hit the handbrakes. That's interesting. I haven't played on any of them that actually had a grade on it, but that's good to know. I didn't know that it was a thing, but it felt like they were coming closer than they were before. So that's pretty awesome. But yeah, there are some diesels. There's a GP9, and there's a shunter diesel too. I don't know what the full plan is for what vehicles they want to have in the full release, all that stuff. You can probably just ask them that on the Discord or anywhere else you want to ask them that. That should totally be fine. Hit the brakes hard. There we go. 16. I like it. And they should be able to tell you. For right now, this is what we have. There's a really long list. There's a sandbox mode that we can play. I played it for a little bit. I think it'll be more fun in multiplayer. For what we have here right now is just get a bunch of trains and get them moving, and we can do that in the tutorial, or in this is the actual career mode. We can already do all of that, so that should be fine. Let's throw this switch because we need that. This switch looks fine. And then we go in there. Oh, there's a yellow there. Didn't realize that. That's different. Usually it's just red and green. No, it's green. It's light. That makes sense. The light makes it look funny. Cool. Let's get these switched into there, and yeah, we're just gonna get back to Whittier, and that's probably gonna be pretty much it. So let me know what you think of this game. I played it for about 3 hours now. It hasn't been in my hands for that long yet, and I really like it. There are a couple things that I think make it a little harder for showing it to you guys. One of them is the HUD being that small, because there is quite a lot of detail in the HUD. So I would like to be able to show you more of that stuff. But for right now, it is what it is. So curious if there are any of you out there that will be interested in seeing more of this, or not. Because, yeah, again, I quite like this game. I think it has a lot of appeal in a lot of different aspects, and that the game developer actually described this game as a mix, or a railroad game, and a mix of farm sim and ETS2. And it's like, what? And I didn't get it at first, but one of the things is you actually pay your overall 70. Interesting. You actually pay your workers. And let's see here. We made a little bit of money. Day one bank opening balance. Yeah, passenger freight. I don't even know, but we do pay just in time. We do pay our workers that are doing just the AI work for us, which I'm totally happy with. I mean, this is a career mode, and we want to get it as far as we can. And I don't know. It's kind of, it feels like a really good progression, because it's not just progressing in terms of getting bigger, better equipment. It's also progressing in terms of what you're allowed to do. Like the CTC, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, and please go check that out on their website. Looks really cool. That feels like a thing that once you have 20 or so trains, that's how you want to play the game. But you have to get to that point first. You have to advance to that stage of your company, of your career, of your like all that stuff before you can do any of those things. And I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally happy just adhering to that milestone kind of behavior. And oh, milestones. The bridge that we have to repair, and there, let's go back to here. There's that repair ELA track and bridge. Actually, a little bit money off already for reputation. That expands our area that we can drive on. I mean, how cool is that? There's a bridge right here, and we can't go across there right now, but once the bridge is repaired, we can. So there is a natural progression in your company and a natural progression in the game itself, which is what I'm looking for. If I play a game that is effectively the same all the time, let's look at the colors here. They should change on this one once it hits the yellow. The game is always the same all the time. I just repeat, rinse, repeat. That's not super fun. That's not exciting. That's none of those things. But this game feels like it's ever changing, and I think that's really, really cool. Hey, we got paid $68 for both of these. I don't have a good feel for how much it actually translates to. And here we have this one currently open. We want to have that closed at least. I don't know what that really translates to for anything, because I think we can sell equipment. There's some things that we can sell, and it's like 7,000 or in the thousands of monies, which makes me just feel like, well, bigger trains is what you want to do. But we're just not there yet, so we just gotta be a little patient, which is again also fine for career mode, because not everything should just be really easy. Okay, let's get this one to the right place, switch you out, go forward a little bit, and I would be really excited to actually have a big old locomotive just get to the station, drop off a bunch of stuff, and then in multiplayer you can just have a switcher do the rest and build your new train. Take the train apart and, do normal railroad operations that everyone that plays this or that's interested in railroading at all already knows, but it's just a cool ability. Let's go with that. It's a cool ability that the developers really made available to anyone that wants to play this. So I think it's a pretty cool game. Please let me know if you feel like we should do a lot more of this. Game is coming out December 15th. I wouldn't be surprised if that's when I want to return to it, if you want to really see something. So that's like a week away. So yeah, let me know. Game is pretty cool. Hope you liked it. And we're going to go back to Whittier, and I will see you again next time. Thank you for watching. And bye-bye.